Mac did an album called Resurrection and Revival, and he finished the music, was done and ready in December of 2023, 2 weeks before he died. He finished the record. And we posted up this story. That's one of the sessions with my band for Resurrection and Revival. This story is on the Gary Sinise Foundation website.
Oh, that's beautiful. Handsome young man.
He was incredible. You can actually see right there on his nose. Mm-hmm. That's a tumor.
Oh,
and
still him.
No, you can see his spirit right there. And we're listening to one of the pieces played back to us right there, and everybody was psyched out about it.
And thank you for sharing Mac with us today. Thank you for letting us think about you with him and think about him. Thank you for letting us speak his name today. And it's important that I think when we say people's names that aren't here in front of us, that they feel it, that's a real thing, right? To me, that feels very real. Same as when we pray for people, that all those things are very real. Like, I think our spirits are very much alive for a long time, and so thank you for letting us.
Mac was a very faithful guy.
Was he?
Yeah. Catholic faith helped him through the most challenging, difficult stuff. And
what was something that amazed you about your son as you're watching him go through that?
Theo, I never heard him say, that why me stuff or why is this happening or anything like that. It was just, I remember when we found out he had a tumor and the way he dealt with it was just, that's why my tailbone's been hurting, for 2 years. He thought it was a tailbone fracture or bruise from a bike accident or something. And, okay, so we're going to take it out and get on with life. And he faced it like that. He always had this sort of, he was what I called a graceful warrior, and such courage and such grace under fire, because this cancer was devastating. I mean, it was one thing after another. It just kept coming at us. And I was like the one in the family who had to guide us, through it. I stopped acting in 2019. At the end of 2019, 2020 became so difficult that I just never went back to acting, and I stayed. I just stayed in the battle, and he was the inspiration for everything. The way he courageously just faced it, and just took it on the chin and took it in stride. And if we could keep him out of pain, and if we could keep him, from feeling too sick from the treatment and all that, he was just living. He was, he's in a hospital bed, and we had to hoist him up with a thing called a Hoyer lift, and you lift him out of the bed and put him in a wheelchair or whatever.
Like one of those shrimp net things almost, which is crazy.
Well, it's a sling. It's a sling that you put underneath him, and then you hook it to this arm, and then you crank it up, and it lifts him out of the bed.
It's kind of cool. Almost like a stork.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we had, and we had to get used to all that kind of stuff. Wheelchair vans and treatment and, radiation, and, he had multiple surgeries, and he went through all of this, which with such grace. And the last year of his life, when he said he wanted to go back and write that music, in some ways, even though it was getting harder and we were running out of drug options and all of that, and his health was, deteriorating, in some ways that was one of the best years of his entire life, because he accomplished what he set out to do. He wanted to make this record. He wanted to make this music. He wanted to resurrect and revive this old piece that he never finished, and he did it, and he did all of that. And then after he died, I found all this additional music in his files that he wrote and tucked away, that some he'd written for the foundation and I had heard it. But then I found all this other stuff going all the way back to his college days. And so I produced